Hi everyone. Today we're sort of going to be deconstructing multiband depression. This was not suggested, like sort of yelled at me by someone in my Instagram. So you have to forgive me. I actually don't know where the actual final multiband depression project file is with all the mixed tracks, because fun fact, I name my songs at the very last minute, so all the while I'm working on them, they usually have a working title, which I often forget. I might have deleted it. I don't know where it is, but I was able to salvage most of the relevant stems, and I did sort of like a comping and a little bit of mixing, so it's listenable and the levels are correct-ish. The song actually started by just me playing a couple chords, and the intro I added it last. But let's start with the drums, if anything. The drums are pretty simple. Let's hear like the entirety of the drums. Let's start with the hi-hat. Something like that. That's the intro, and then it kicks in with a tom hit. That's basically the intro for the drums. The kick sound is very basketball-y. Like it literally sounds like a basketball. Listen to it. Actually, not so much. It actually sort of sounds like I'm being punched, which for a kick drum is quite an accomplishment. I did good. Wow, yay! Especially like there you go. By the way, all this is addictive drum too. And that's how I do all my drums. And then now let's listen to the snare sound, which is sort of the signature thing in my drums. It really does sound like fucking pots and pans and shit. So yeah, like the kick and the snare together, for instance, they sound like this. So there's a solid kick and drum bass for the entire song. There's a very solid exchange between the kick and the snare, which I really, really, really look for. The toms appear quite sporadically, but I cannot even see them. Here they are. The tom sound is quite straightforward, just very high-endy. Everything in the drums is very like high-endy. Like I boosted the high end quite a bit. It's actually not as much as I expected, which is great. As you can see, I've forgotten all about the song. Just here and there, just to add a little bit of spice. And just for fun, this is just a regular hi-hat. So the beat altogether, the first section is this thing, right? As you can see, very heavy, very busy, a lot of kicks, a lot of snares. And then we move on to something more pop rocky. With a hi-hat on the backbeat. I really always love. And then we have no drums for a little bit. That's when the guitar is being all like flashy. And we go back again. Switching time signatures a lot. I don't remember what time signatures those are at the moment, but there you go. And now we move on to a very straightforward 4/4. I'm actually gonna play that again. I really like it. It's kind of block party, kind of very bouncy, very danceable. As you can see, the kick is 4 on the floor, so it hits on the 1 and the 3. Then what do we have here? What is this? Oh, here. Oh, this is the fun part. This is the claps. These claps I actually didn't record myself. These are just the fucking stock claps from Addictive Drums, just with a little bit of process. This. Then we add in some kicks, some and the breakbeat, of course. I remember I added an extra limiter in that part for the snare, so you can see it sounds extra wide and extra like annoying with a lot of harmonics, which I absolutely love. And that's basically it for that section. There's no drums here, and then it goes into this. So yeah, that's like a 6/8 section there, and it goes into a 4/4 with a lot of chopping up and like stops and starts, and then we have this very block party, very straight hi-hat led beat. And you can hear just the hi-hat, for instance. If this were an actual drummer, he would be dead by now. So that's basically it for that section. And then we have this. What is this? Oh, yeah. So, for the drums on that, it's very, very simple. It's just an electronic kick with the actual kick, just on the floor. Pretty simple. What the fuck did I just do? Okay, anyway. Simple. When the beat actually drops, it's like 4 on the floor, a fill, and then we go. And kind of metalcore, actually. I shamefully admit that. And a reverse on the drums, if you can hear it. Hear that? It's a reverse snare each time before the snare hits, so it actually builds a little bit of momentum for the snare. After that, we just have the same thing as the intro. Except, yeah, we have this little thing at the end. There you go. That's it for the drums. Let's move on to the bass, which I've comped into one solid track because there were so many. So the bass sounds a little bit like this at the beginning. Then we move on to what I like to call the real intro, which is very poppy, very almost playful. And then when the minor we get serious. Then a little bit of a break again, and then we go with the glitches. This is probably what you've been looking for. You hear that? How did I do that? I literally chopped that up and copied and pasted it 4 times, or 3 times, 6 times, I don't know. I love this riff. And then we get this little synth bass to power up the bass. That's the real bass is actually doing power chords, like fifths. Another little bass break, and what is this? Oh, a little slap. Look at that. I totally forgot about that. Cool. I can slap. And so yeah, then we have like just chopped up bass pieces to follow the kick. absolutely, definitely not quantized at all. Just kidding. No, yeah, it's just a long note. Yeah, it does that for a while, and then we just have a very straightforward bass line. Again, powered up by the synth bass. Hear this little thing? This shit. That is again another thing that I just copied and pasted. Not much to it. Just chop it up and copy and paste it. Whatever you want. There's no magic plugin, there's nothing. Like, the artistic freedom that copying and pasting gives you is much more than what any plugin will give you. So I just recommend taking the extra time and just doing it. Then we have this section. And then we have like a little, I don't know what the fuck this is called, but it's like offset. This part is actually played with fingers. The rest of it is played with a pick. It's basically it for that section. And then we have I think it's some power chords build up to the big break. Yep. Again, power chords, but like with the synth bass blended together. I love this little, like, in Spanish we say remate, which is what this is. It's like bam, bam. It's fun. Then we just have the same thing as the beginning. And it's exactly the same thing because I copied and pasted it. I didn't play it again. Except for the little end here. That's heavily edited. Just like this part is just this part, but an octave up artificially. So yeah, that's it for the bass. Let's move on to what probably all of y'all nerds are waiting for, which is the guitars. So the guitar starts like this, as you may know. Like that. Okay, so as you may notice, there's a fair bit going on already. We have the basic clean. Doing that, and then we have the distortion, which is completely glitched out. One is in 8th notes and the other one is in 4th notes. And then there's one more layer, which is this little thing, which is stereo. This little thing is just harmonics tuned by hand. That's just, I just tuned it, like I just chopped it up and tuned it in the Reaper thing. Again, no plugins, no nothing. That's not how I roll. Okay, so yeah, now, yes, we go into the intro. The real intro. Again, that glitch there is again just me chopping up and copy pasting things. It's just that. This is basically the entire clean tone for the entire song. And then we just delay, which is this one right here. That is the same thing-ish with a couple parts added, but just I pitched it up an octave. Again, in the Reaper pitch adjust thing, so that's why it sounds like that. with the distortion behind it, it sounds like this. The cleans are doing this. Oh, and then we have the little, which is the delay and the clean at the same time. Isn't that nice? And then we have this awful nylon string guitar that I had to process the shit out of, that appears like all the way throughout the album. For most of the time that I was recording the album, I actually didn't have a steel acoustic. I only had a nylon, like a very cheap nylon string. So I just would record with it, because why not? And just process the living shit out of it. So that's why it sounds like this. So yeah, that again is all manually chopped and pitch shifted and all that stuff. That's all done by hand, like going in, chopping the actual recording up and pitching it up or repeating it. Don't skimp around. This isn't actually a guitar at all, but I just kept it here. Which actually makes me wonder if y'all can figure out where I got those vocal samples from. I'll give you a hint, they're all Japanese groups. So yeah, again, this is all manually chopped too. Everything's done by hand and pitch corrected by hand and stuff like that. Okay, so together, like the whole guitar ensemble in this section sounds like this. Then some clean guitars will come in on the sides. You can't really hear them, but like, listen to them here. So if I like raise the volume on them, maybe. There you go. They're just to add a little bit of rhythmic spice. And then we have this like break section, like it's no drums, no anything, just the guitars. The distortions are like glitching around left and right, and there's a solid like delay clean playing in the middle. And then they add an octave on the clean. Octave up. And then it's just the clean, playing just the chords. That's all the guitar there is. A little bit of phaser at the end of that. And then we have this little fun noodly riff, like very math rock, if you will. Yeah, and then we go into a very poppy section. With this awful lead that I was supposed to cover up with vocals, but I actually ended up keeping. And that's being supported by this. Which is just the same thing, just with a delay and played backwards. And also by this, which is stereo guitars with chorus, they're harmonizing each other. Here comes the other one. So all together. because what's happening here? Oh yeah. Move on to the delay section. This. Y'all heard this, you know what this is when the kick is going on 4 on the floor. It's like, so yeah. And then we have just another rhythm guitar. With a little bit of noise, like this noise thing is accompanying the thing. That's basically it for the guitars, except if you want to check this part out. Like, yep, that's it. Somewhere in there is a reverse. I don't know why I did that or which one it is, but it's there. Okay, so let's move on to the rest of the shit. I don't know, the keys and the MIDI shit. Sure, why not? Let's start with synth 1. That and this. Basically it. Synth 2 is this. Synth 2 is this. You know how that sounds. That's pretty straightforward. Just a square wave in 2 octaves with a little bit of portamento and delay. And then we have my beloved Wurlitzer. Listen to that. It's lovely. Oh, I love the Wurlitzer. And then it makes a second appearance around here. So versatile, the Wurlitzer. Like, it can be used as a rhythm thing, as a lead, even as a synth bass, whatever you want. Like, if you EQ it correctly, it's so multi-purpose. And then we have the little violins, which are from Contacts and free library, whatever. I just added some reverb to them. Here they start playing at like the same melody, just double the speed. And now for the big drop, I have them come in and out in volume, like 0 to 100, 0 to 100. Like that. And that's basically it for the MIDI stuff, the keys. And if you want, we can go over the noises. Which noises is just literally anything that is very hard to categorize. So let's start with this chop. Feedback 1. I just found some feedback online and then I ran it through a sausage fattener and I stretched it out and I pitch shifted a little bit of the in the middle, as you can hear, and that's basically that's it. I just bend it to the left. And for the other one, the other feedback, sort of the same thing happened to it. Wonderful, in it. We have wind, which is just appears over here. It's just wind recorded and then ran through a distortion pedal. So much fun. And then we have a Game Grump sample that I sort of chopped up, and it's from a 10-minute power hour.
It has sounds and things. Okay. Stop making music.
I got your back.
It has sounds and things. Okay. Stop making music.
That's fun, isn't it? Then we have a clock, just to add a little bit of offbeatness to the thing. Just a very straightforward clock, just... Oh, not as straightforward as I thought, but, well, there you go. And finally, we have this little Morse code little thing which says something that I don't remember. If y'all want to figure it out, here you go. And that's the song. As you can see, I like subdividing the songs into a treble bus and a rhythm bus. So the rhythm has all the drum skins and the bass. So for instance, at any given moment, and the treble bus will have the guitars, the synths, everything else, like the overheads and stuff like that. And all together. So yeah, as you can see, there's some synths that I couldn't salvage, and also the vocals. The Vocaloid is completely gone. I cannot find it, or the screams, but you can hear those well enough, I imagine, especially now that I've added the lyrics. So I believe you've gotten the gist of the song. I'll see you later. Jesus.